Day. We don't know what it is. 8:30. Tuesday, Thursday. So it was. How did you do in there all the time? You're sticking too loud.
We got two. We're all ready. We could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Providing today's students opportunities to become tomorrow's leaders. We do have a couple of public comments. If we could have Liz speaking on number 1, 4-day week.
Hi, good evening. You want me to turn the phone?
It doesn't work.
Oh.
Just talk
Keep trying.
loud, Liz.
I'll try to project then.
I forgot to
Good
take it
evening,
down.
my name is Liz Burkhead. I actually work for Central Noble in our payroll and benefits department. I just wanted to make a comment on the 4-day week, just because I know there's been a lot of talk about it, putting our application in specifically on today's agenda. I know there's some uncertainty of whether it would actually get approved if the application was submitted, but as someone who works in the central office, it kind of has to do some of those behind the scenes work. I wanted to possibly put in a request, if you would call it that, to not start something so drastic when we wouldn't have enough time to get things ready for 26, 27 school year. If we were going to be doing a 3-year trial period, it would be beneficial for those of us working in the background to maybe start something like this 27, 28 at the earliest, just because there's going to be a lot of logistic things that haven't been thought through all the way. I mean, I work in payroll, so that would itself be a nightmare to try to figure out changing something like that. But then there's also going to be like changing our reporting, because we're not going to be like the rest of the schools in Indiana. Obviously it can be done because there are schools out there that have done it. But for us to figure all of that out in such a short period of time, the work doesn't stop for us. So we'll still be doing our regular duties on top of trying to figure something like that out. So that was the only thing that I wanted to say about that, and appreciate your time.
Can I ask, just so I make sure I made some notes to make sure that I understand. So are you wanting us to wait to apply in general, or let's say if it is a go, maybe consider that timeline?
I don't know if you have to put the time, or I guess the school year that you would begin on the application. So I guess that would depend on the application. So if you have to choose a school year to start with on the application, I would prefer if we could start it a little bit later, just so that if it does go through, those of us that have to figure those things out have more time to do so. Since I know that it'll take quite a while before we actually get a determination from the state, and then there's going to be a very short period of time where we're going to have to figure everything out before school starts again.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
And then Rachel Van Gessel, doesn't say which agenda item, sorry.
I'm Rachel Van Gessel. I live in Jefferson Township. I coach tennis here for the high school. Just commenting about the superintendent search. I think a key qualification for our next superintendent is that there's somebody who's not currently associated with our district. I don't feel like we can hire from within. We need someone who can restore the relationship between the school and the community, rebuild some trust. We need somebody who's not gonna blame the community for the school's problems. And they should also be somebody who's accountable. That means we have to use a search firm. I think that would be a worthwhile investment. There may be somebody out there who's very enthusiastic about 4-day weeks or micro schools, somebody who has experience with referendums. I think that would be very helpful in our situation. We need somebody with an outsider's perspective who can help us restore our district. Thank you.
Thank you. We can move on to consent items. Approval of the minutes from October 13th regular session meeting, November 3rd tentative agreement public meeting, November 3rd public work session, November 6th executive session, November 10th special session meeting, November 12th executive session, approval of the October 10th and October 24th payroll and claims from October 14th through November 17th. Personnel, acceptance of resignation of Zach Baber, varsity football coach, Angie McCoy, sub bus driver, Tim Smith, varsity softball coach, Brittany Bodie, varsity volleyball coach. Recommendation to hire Rodney Paris, SRO, winter coaches, Ron Daisy, 6th grade boys basketball coach, Madeline Malcolm, 8th grade girls basketball coach, Audrey Paul, 6th grade girls basketball co-coach, Kristen Garner, 6th grade girls basketball co-coach, Tiffany Marsh, varsity JV winter cheer sponsor, Desiree Burdette, junior high winter cheer sponsor, and a recommendation to approve Barry, and Barry, I hope I don't mess up your last name because I always call you Doc Y, but Barry Younghans as interim superintendent effective 11/17/25. The following volunteer coaches were also approved by Mr. Morgan: Reddick Zolman and Malachi Malcolm, boys basketball, Mason Smith, girls basketball, Ben Golden and Sam Hoover, boys wrestling. May I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. We'll move on to action items. I'll read the item and then either Robbie or Kim has a further explanation for each one. Recommendation to approve proceeding with applying for 4-day school week waiver on the state. Robbie?
So this would be filling out the waiver, using the information from the survey to proceed with that waiver. That in no way, shape, or form means that that's what we would be moving to. We'd have to wait on a decision from the state, and then you guys as a board would have to make that decision on what we want to do. So I just want people to hear that it doesn't mean that's what we're doing. It just means that we're applying to the state, and then it's left in the state's hands on how they move on that.
Hey, Robbie, do we have to put dates on that application?
I'm not sure what the full application looks like, but I'm sure there are dates on there somewhere.
What is their turnaround time for them making a decision?
They do it on a rolling basis, so I think every 60 days they meet and go through, so I'm not sure where they're at on that.
Probably depending upon when we finish it, get it to them, maybe 60 days at the most. Okay, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Jason, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Ty? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Recommendation to approve continuing development of micro-schooling model for a tentative start in the 2026-2027 school year.
And this would just be what Mrs. Lemon has presented. We've talked about looking at another option for kids.
May I have a motion?
Real quick,
Yes.
you've got kind of a plan to start like recruiting, or you're gonna work with probably Barry in the meantime to start that process. Okay. Thanks, sorry.
No, that's fine. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Brian, second.
I'll second.
Jared, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Recommendation to approve updated CNELC provider contract.
So the next two are both just language changes. There's one family that we have from the public that they're trying to work all the kinks out with before they open to the public. It is not open yet. It's just one family that we have, so that we have to rework the contract language in the parent handbook to represent that.
May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
I'll take Brian. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Recommendation to approve updated CNELC parent handbook. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Who was the first?
Brian.
Brian, sorry. Second is Jared. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Recommendation to approve acknowledgement of funding floor notification.
So Central Noble did receive notification from the state, that we did not meet our funding for 24-25. So really it has to do with fiscal years. Fiscal years run from July 1st to June 30th the next year. In 2024 fiscal year 2024 to fiscal year 2025, Central Noble did receive an increase of $15,975 to the education fund, but we also experienced during that same period a decrease of 19 students. So we were not in the position to be adding staff at that time. So that factors into it. Anytime that we have retirements and we're not replacing with a high-paid teacher, that also factors into it. And one of the biggest things for us is that we did start making staffing changes prior to June 30th of this year. So those are the reasons kind of behind not meeting this funding for. Things that we need to do are publicly acknowledge the receipt of this notice during our board meeting tonight and publish this notification on our website within 30 days of this meeting. So we will meet that. And in the future, I am going through more training to try to piece all these puzzles together better, to have a better understanding and hopefully not receive this notification any further.
May I have a motion to approve the acknowledgement?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
Jared. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Recommendation to approve school crossing guard interlocal agreement.
So this has been worked on with our attorney and the town's attorney. So I think the town had approved it maybe at their last board meeting. So they're just waiting on us to approve it. One thing that I would say is maybe to look into in the future. Right now we have one, sometimes no kids using that crossing. So I don't know if you want to look into providing somebody for the first month of school or however long to kind of help them across. But at this point, there's not very many kids using it at all. So just to put that in there. But
And you did say Bill's given us his blessing already. Okay. May I have a motion to approve the school crossing guard interlocal agreement?
I'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
Jared. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Recommendation to approve staff stipends.
It is our recommendation to the board to approve or to award active, full, and part-time Central Noble Community School Corporation staff hired on or before today's date a one-time stipend, as I'll kind of detail below. Since we were able to make those budget cuts prior to this school year that really need to go into effect for the 2026 budget, that's going to leave us with a little bit of appropriations left over for the end of fiscal year 2025 or calendar year 2025 to be able to do something like this as a thank you to our staff. We've had a lot of staff really step up, take on some extra duties in the absence of some of the positions that we had to cut. We recommend certified staff get a $750 stipend, non-certified staff get a $500 stipend to be paid on the December 23rd payroll. Again, kind of outline the reasons that we're able to do this. Total financial impact for the corporation is to our operations budget would be $30,087.50. That includes 1 certified staff and 55 non-certified staff. To our education budget, $90,580. That includes 80 certified staff and 44 non-certified staff. Total impact being $121,387.50, which is within our budget to do for the remainder of this year.
May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Brian? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Mr. Morgan?
We'll start with the building administrators.
Boxes in the back of the room are Operation Christmas Child. Chris Foster has been here for the last several months. Central Senior High has packed over 1,100 boxes that our maintenance staff will deliver on Friday for that. So we continue to be blessed by Chris Foster, even though she's no longer in staff, and it's been a great experience for our students. So.
Dr. Johannes?
So we continue to send home food every weekend. That's continues to be a thing that we do for students who need. Probably our highlight of this, finding this out, was our school was ranked #1 in use of Prodigy, which is a math e-learning tool. And we were ranked #1 in the state of Indiana and #1 for schools of our size. That puts us in the running for a $100,000 grant with Prodigy. That's a long way off. We find that out in May. They've sent us a banner, which is hanging. They've sent us some goodies for teachers. And so we have continued to do that. Other than that, we are just getting ready to get into the winter season of getting our kids through to Christmas. That's always a difficult time. It's not always a happy time for every kid.
I think that's it. Mr. Taggart is not here. He's driving bus for the middle school basketball team.
Any board member comments? Meeting is adjourned at 5:17.